visit Juniata River smallmouth. We're up in the Juniata here.
Today on the Backwoods Angler, our quest is pre-spawn Juniata River smallmouth bass.
There's another one.
We'll be targeting the bass with tubes and jerkbaits today. She thought that was a crawdad. Ooh. Stick around, we'll also be talking with America's favorite fisherman, Jimmy Houston.
That's later.
I'm Blaine Mangle, Backwoods Angler. Join me for some more. This is going to be fun. Dog, that's what it's all about, huh? Go home. Brought to you by Case Plastics, makers of the Sinkin' Salty Shad.
Today we're fishing on the Susquehanna River. We're actually right at the Juniata River confluence where the Juniata merges with the Susquehanna. It is early April, pre-spawn, smallmouth are heavy, they're egg-laden. They're not overly spunky right now. We're fishing tubes and jerkbaits, and the jerkbait has been more preferred. Good fish. That's a hog fish. There's a Susquehanna smallmouth right there.
Yes, it is.
Susquehanna smallmouth on a jerkbait.
I got 4.7, 4.8.
That fish looked like it was on steroids. That's sick. That fish didn't look 4.8 to me. See, I'm used to those Delaware River fish. A 19-inch fish on the Delaware might not be 4 pounds. Just another 3-pounder.
Just an absolute gorgeous fish. As wide as a Pomeranian. And away she goes.
Atta boy. That's a good fish, huh? Oh boy. That's sickening.
Unbelievable, anything?
What is with these fish out?
Some shoulders on that thing.
That is growth hormone. It's right there. I mean, look at that thing.
Presently, tie.
4.6, 4.8?
4.8.
4.8. Two 4-pound, 8-ounce fish, our first 3 fish.
Such a heavy fish. I mean, just absolutely beautiful.
That's a Mismo teaser tube. What we're going to do with that, we're going to put an insert jig head in there, because that bait, I should have a smaller jig head for it. That bait almost perfectly imitates the crawfish that inhabit the Susquehanna River. And I've tried a bigger one, and I've only caught 1 fish on the bigger tube, so we're going to go with a smaller profile tube just to see if I can get a bite on an otherwise inactive bass. Kind of like finesse fishing with a tube, really. It's not, but that's what we'll call it for the purpose of calling it something. That's a ticket right there. Gets snagged just like the big ones.
Feels decent. Of course, they all feel good in this stupid river. Come on. fat.
That is an egg belly. Explain what these fish are doing right now, Chris. What do we got?
Well, we just came out of cold water just a couple weeks ago. Look at how fat that fish is, unbelievable.
That's sick.
Just a couple weeks ago, this water temperature was in the high 30s, now it's in the mid to upper 40s. At that time period, knowing they're gonna spawn here in about 10 more degrees, and they're absolutely eating everything in sight.
Why are they stacked up? Why do they stack up in this area?
Well, you got the confluence of two rivers coming in. You've got the riffle area over here, which provides current, and the bottom of here, and you found out with your tubes today, it's quite rocky in here.
It's quite rocky, yes, it's quite rocky.
You'll sometimes find these fish, they'll have bloody noses or worn out noses from
From
digging
rooting.
into rocks
Yeah.
and pulling the crayfish out. I'm not saying they won't eat, minnow baits, but I'm telling you, they're eating crawfish like crazy. I mean, you can just see it and feel it in their bellies, and sometimes in their craw, you'll see actually like claws sticking out of their gullets.
Now
and
you
stuff.
can see the crawfish belly on these fish, that distended belly.
You're pointing at me now.
Yet,
hey.
yet they'll come up and eat a suspending jerkbait that's sitting a foot or two off those rocks.
Right. Now, I'm not a fish, so I don't know if they see this as a scampering, because you don't have fishing this real slow. So I don't know if they're seeing this as a scampering, pausing, it's crawfish, or if they're just reacting to a fish.
to it, I'll bet you.
And I'm
Good
sure
deal.
there's bait fish in here too that they're feeding on, but they're going to eat anything that moves. Anything that moves.
Go get yourself another one.
Amen, brother.
We'll be right back. River fish live in nasty places.
The River Pro 186 Low Pro is the ultimate shallow water fishing machine. Agile, aggressive, and armed to the teeth with all the angling ammo you'll ever need. With the Mercury Sport Jet, you'll fly over just inches of water, places no ordinary boat could go. River Pro, hard-bellied, all-welded, custom-built jet boats for the serious river fishermen like you.
Wayne's Custom Crafted Rods, repairing and reconstructing fishing rods, using the latest reel seats, handles, guides, and guide placement. Freshwater, saltwater, casting, spinning, and fly rods made to order. Quality custom fishing rods, crafted to your specifications using the latest rod building components and techniques. Wayne's Custom Crafted Rods. Call or email today. Do you own an outboard jet motor? Backwoods Angler TV's new DVD, 30-minute PM Outboard Jet Preventative Maintenance, is sure to save you money from repairs, and it will keep you on the water and on the fish.
That fish hit it on a twitch, Chris.
Nice.
Come here, baby.
Very nice.
Good way to land a jerkbait fish is by the belly, if you can. Come here, baby. Woo! There we go. There's my. Every show we got to do that. Every show we got to drop one. See that? Got my jerkbait fish. I got slime on my hands. Oh, baby. This is good stuff. This break line, where the confluence of the two rivers is, it's such a defined break, and you've got slack water where we're sitting, and I would think that when these fish get more active, they're gonna just move right up just to the inside of this break line. I mean, I've sat here before and I've caught them right in the current, just casting a tube or some kind of a jig into the current, just letting it swing. But when the water temps are still a little chilly like this, they'll move right inside here. When they want to eat, they'll just go in and out. They'll just pick and come back in. When the fish get more active, they just sit right inside that thing like a conveyor belt, where they don't need to burn calories, and when they want to eat, they just go out, pick something, and come back. There's actually a little current here too, Chris, isn't there?
Yep, just a little bit.
See, I was out here when the main stem is up, pushes that current. There's another one. That's a better one there.
Even them smaller ones pull you, don't they?
Chris told me to switch off that jerkbait. Our Backwoods Angler guide on the Susquehanna River knows what he's talking about. But I'll tell you what, you wouldn't know that they're lethargic when they strike these jerkbaits, would you?
No.
Man, they feel so much bigger than they are.
I know.
They don't just tap them. There she is. Is it shallow all the way out to the break here?
Well, we're real fortunate here because at the bottom of this river, it kicks out almost like a push water area where it's gonna allow that water to rise up where there's rocks. And so you can see it out here. You can almost see what's underneath the surface by looking at the surface.
Nervous water.
Nervous water, exactly. This river's funny. You don't need a lot of water to find fish. I mean, you might be in an area where it's 2 or 3 feet for a long time. You'll find an area that's 4.5 foot.
Yeah.
That's a trough out here. Where on the Delaware, you're talking 6 to 8 feet.
That's right. You do not need much out here. What do you say, Chris? We head out, hit another spot?
Sounds good.
All right, we're gonna go relocate. We're gonna go upstream a little bit further. Come on back and join us for some more fishing.
Ponderosa Pines, a family-oriented campground nestled beneath the trees. Relax by your campfire, lounge by our heated pool, fish on our beautiful lake. Join our themed weekend activities. Tent camping is waiting those who want to camp the old-fashioned way, and new park model cabins offer the experience of camping with the luxuries of home. Ponderosa Pines Campgrounds. Come and join the fun. PonderosaPinesCampgrounds.com.
My name is Vince LaPree, president of Innerbaits. We came out with a new product, the Wacky Stick. We came up with a unique insert that goes inside. So when you wacky rig these baits in the center, it doesn't tear through the bait. These will hold up for 30 or 40 fish versus 3 or 4. www.vinnerbaits.com.
Jimmy, it's a pleasure. I'm Blaine.
Blaine, it's good to be here, man.
I'm here with Jimmy Houston. The funny thing about it, Jimmy, is you did a trip with Bill Kramer
I know Bill well.
on the Susquehanna.
Right. In a rock boat. One of them boats you can't tear the lower units off.
Right, 10, 12 years ago. I saw it on TV. I went to Bill's booth down at the Philadelphia show and booked a trip with Bill.
Really.
He
might owe me a little commission on that, you reckon?
He might. 6 trips later and a jet boat, I was guiding.
Oh, mercy.
Because of that. Part of it was because of that.
Are you bragging or complaining to me about that?
I'm thanking you.
Okay,
That's all
thank
I'm
you.
doing. I'm thanking you. How did you get started in the TV part of this business? How did you get going?
Of course, I fished tournaments since 1968, and I fished all of the ASS tournaments starting about 1975 for a few years there, and I had some good success at the tournaments, and because of that, I ended up being on a few other people's fishing shows just as a guest, and so folks. I had a few folks tell me, man, you ought to be doing a fishing show, and I thought, I never thought about that, and we were making a good living and fishing however we wanted to fish, and so, but I shot a pilot show, and I studied, actually. I've got 2 really good friends of mine that have been very successful in outdoor television, Bill Dance and Roland Martin, and I studied a lot of their videotapes and spent about a year researching to see if I thought it would be a profitable venture. And from that I started, and I got to tell you, Blaine, I set a goal that first year that if I did a show the first year and lost $50,000 or less, I would do it the second year. And this was 32 years ago. And actually ended up making about $32,000 that first year, and which Bill and Roland told me, so that's crazy. We both lost money the first year, and fortunately, we've actually shown a profit every year for 32 years, and amazingly, it's probably harder now than it's ever been to show a profit out there. But we love it. We'd probably do it even if we didn't make any money at it. We might not do it very long. It might be a little bit like farming. We just farm until we lose all our money, but we'll do it.
Well, now we're at the Calvary Church. you do a lot of these shows where you like to talk about your spiritual walk and your testimony. I noticed your necklace there. How's that work for you?
Well, it's fantastic. You know, I get to go to maybe 15 or 20 churches a year, and it's fantastic. It's a tremendous honor to get to do that, and I love it a lot. And you know, I go to a lot of, I've been to, you know, some of the largest churches in the nation. And one of the great things about an event like this is a tremendous event, by the way. It's unbelievable that this is Calvary's first attempt at this, because usually when you try something for the first time, you do lots wrong, and you find out it's generally marginally successful, and I don't know how it can be much more successful than what this has been done. So they've done great. But the great thing, and the thing that I like about it is not only do you get to visit with a lot of really, really nice and great people, but you have a lot of people come to an event like this that quite honestly would not set foot in a church for any other reason. And so a lot of folks, a lot of men, a lot of women, a lot of kids get to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ that they, you know, may not get to hear any other way. So that's a great thing. Not only is it a great honor, but it's a privilege and you know, and I think a responsibility to be able to do something like this. Sure do.
Yeah, that's and we're vehicles. You know,
Absolutely.
That's the funny thing about it. Jimmy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get back to some more fishing. I'm going to trim a little tail off. That's what I'm going to do. Mismo makes the tentacles very long, and I just think that this time of the year when it's colder, you want a smaller profile on the tube. So I just took maybe 1/8 to 1/4 inch of that tube off. It's just more. I think it's going to match the hatch, so to speak. It's not going to show quite as much movement on the crayfish either. The shorter the tentacles are, the less they're going to move around down there. When the current grabs a hold of them, it's going to look more like the crawfish aren't. They're not as mobile this time of the year. The antenna on the crayfish create all kinds of different movements there, and those tentacles on the tube will do the same thing. But the reason why I took some of it off is because they're just not moving a lot in this cold water. So we'll see what we can get with that. Good fish back here. Fat little female, but it's fatty. On the Mismo tube, she thought that was a crawdad. How about that? Their mouths are so small. Look how small that mouth is. Ooh.
Mark Holenchik Home Improvements now installs sun tunnels. Do you have a dark room or hallway? A sun tunnel skylight can brighten your home. And you'll save on your electric bill by not using lights during the day. We can transform your room in just a couple of hours. Call now and receive a 3-day, 2-night hotel accommodation at one of 24 popular resort destinations. Be sure to visit our website or call Mark Holenchik Home Improvements today.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit, we're hot, we can't be stopped. We got the spirit, we're hot, we can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
How you gonna land it?
I'm gonna land it for you, that's how.
Careful, careful, careful.
Come here, Bubba.
Now, this is an oddity. Someone
Look at
landing a fish on my boat.
that. Look at the,
Yep, we were talking about this morning. We talked about that this
see the
morning.
bottom lip? She's all raw from rooting for crawdads.
did I catch? Are you kidding me? I caught a fish. Look at here. That's the toad of the day right there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what it is. It's got stripes on it. It just fell in. I've never seen a fish like it. It looked like a perch pointer. It's exactly what it looked like. Multi-species. I'm not just out here for bass. I'm out here for those big 1-inch fingerling, whatever that fish was, fish. 4 feet. It's the right depth. It's funny, I'm not used to saying 4 feet's the right depth. Here, it's the right depth. There's a fish. That's a good fish. That's a really good fish. Oh boy, he took me the other side of the boat. Look at this dog. Did you see that? That fish took me to the other side of the boat.
You got it on the current now.
That fish is... You dog! Dog! That's smart, man. You got hooks on these things?
Woo! Told you.
That fish was just tooling me right there. That really was. That fish really, really ate me up.
These bass just don't break your equipment. They break your heart.
Remember that one, ladies and gentlemen. Ate me up. Got him? Little guy?
Little one.
Come here, Bubba.
Got him?
Oh, I got him. How about that? Woo, that's his little one. Look at the gut on that fish. It looks like a tilapia. Look at that.
Big fish. I know.
My God, you got him on the outside of the... that don't count.
What's that?
You can't count that fish.
Oh, okay.
River fish live in nasty places.
The River Pro 186 Low Pro is the ultimate shallow water fishing machine. Agile, aggressive, and armed to the teeth with all the angling ammo you'll ever need. With the Mercury Sport Jet, you'll fly over just inches of water, places no ordinary boat could go. River Pro, hard-bellied, all-welded, custom-built jet boats for the serious river fishermen like you.
I'm here with Chris Gorsuch. Chris is the Backwoods Angler Associate Guide on the Susquehanna and the North Branch of the Susquehanna. Chris, we caught a couple of crayfish here, and we want to just show the viewers how amazingly close in comparison a tube jig is to the natural forage in this river system.
So what we did was we just went out and found a couple crawfish. It's early April, and the crawfish are very, very lethargic, but they do not ever stop moving. But we've calmed ours down a bit. And these are tubes that are made from a local Pennsylvania guy called Wacky Worm. And Lou has poured two special colors. One I would call a spring craw and one I would call a summer craw. But if you take a look at this blue tube, you'll see that this blue crawfish has an absolute ton of blue colors on him. And that crawfish, as it swings through the water, really resembles it. Now in about 10 degrees, maybe 15 degrees, this crawfish will get very, very orange and yellow colored, and then it starts to look more and more like that tube right there. But you don't have to catch many fish today to see them puking up crawfish, and this is exactly why they're hitting these crawfish. It's actually an incredible fishery.
You ready to go get a few more?
I am very ready.
Let's go.
Okay.
That didn't take long. We come back to the confluence of the Juniata and an immediate hog hookup.
It's just a dandy of a fish, huh?
Go get another one, my friend. Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Another little fatty. Sorry, dude, you got a headache. Tell you what, the ones that are hitting this jerkbait are hitting it. I mean, they are just both trebles.
Nice fish.
Dog, you got that jerkbait down today, don't you? That's a dark one.
It is dark.
Pretty fish.
Even the smaller ones today have been real fat.
Oh, good night. That fish creamed it. Stop your jumping, dude. I lost 2 in a row and I ain't losing a third one on a jump. As I say that. Another typical Susquehanna pre-spawn smallmouth, man. That's good stuff. Chris, thank you, man. It was a pleasure. We had a ball. www.backwoodsangler.com. Look it up for some more information on Chris's trips on the Susquehanna. I'm Blaine Mangle, Backwoods Angler. Join me next week for some more good fishing. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm Blaine, Backwoods Angler. Join me again next week for a little bit more. Let's try that again. That's probably 5 or 6 years ago. I had clients out here and we had about 2 inches of rain and we're gonna cut right there. That's the most action we've seen in an hour, right there. Fish filming in the mouth of the Juniata, I believe. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Chris attempting to land the elusive gray squirrel. Chris is like, shut up, just shut up. Shut up.
Backwoods Angler TV, brought to you by Case Plastics.
I caught a fish.
Fuel your passion with Backwoods Angler TV. 2 4-pound fish, our first 3 fish. This is not your run-of-the-mill fishing show.
You're cool, right? You are cool.
Catch it all here as we bring fishing hotspots right to your living room.
Oh my goodness, that's a big fish. Join us for some great fishing on the Backwoods Angler.
Visit backwoodsanglertv.com for showtimes and listings.
Did you see her jump?